Welcome to the Old Colony History Museum garden. In this video, we are talking about onion bolting. What is it, how it occurs, and what to do if it happens to you. Now we're gonna go look at our plants and show you what a bolted onion looks like. Bolting refers to the flowers full of seed that can appear on the top of an onion stalk. Bolting occurs when an onion has dealt with some sort of stress, typically after going from unseasonably hot weather back to cool, which is what happened here this spring in our garden. In addition to the weather, onion sets versus growing from seeds can be particularly prone to bolting as they are from a previous growth, and so have already done some growing and maybe have endured some sort of stress. So when our onions bolted this year, we knew this because we started to see the flower-filled seed heads at the top of the plant. When this happens, the plant has now redirected its energy towards growing a flower and producing seed, and it's no longer growing that onion bulb under the surface. Basically, the onion thinks that it's done growing and now needs to get ready to produce seeds for the next season and end its growing cycle. What this means is that our little onions under the dirt are no longer going to be growing. They are as big as they're going to get, and there's no point of leaving them in the ground any longer. We're not going to wait for the plants to flop over like last year. That's sort of the natural course and the telltale sign that they were ready to harvest. In this case, when bolting has set in, we don't want to wait too long and possibly have the onions rot under the surface. So what we did is we snipped the seed heads off the top of the plants. Once we've snipped off the tops of each plant, it sort of stunts the plant into even trying to grow anything at the top. Nothing else is going to happen. The next step is to harvest them, and we'll lay them in the bed just for a few days to dry. Our curing time is much trimmed down because of this different process. So we'll have to be sure to eat these onions very quickly. If we tried to store them throughout the fall or the winter, they just wouldn't last. So while this is sort of our second mildly successful onion harvest, we still have not mastered the technique. Best case scenario here is that we have an empty bed to try something else in. Onions are a very traditional New England crop. They've been grown here for centuries. So we might give it another attempt because we do want to be able to successfully grow some of these early introduced crops that were a huge part of the New England economy, potatoes and onions. I'm not sure I'd say we're 0 for 2 with onions, but I'm not sure I'd say that we're 2 for 2 either. So stay tuned and see what happens next time. So there you have it. Our onions did in fact bolt, but we were able to harvest some usable onions, and I'm sure they'll be delicious. And now we have an empty bed that we can plant something else this season. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel and stay up to date with all of the garden content this season. See you in the next one.